Nick Cannon Radio, you know how we do. I love to have incredible conversations, especially when it's with family members, close loved ones, people that I admire, colleagues, and this brother is all of that and so much more. Someone, I mean, if I start listing down the accolades, we'd be here all day, but truly one of the most talented and loving men I know, Mr. Robin Thicke. What's going on, my brother?
Thank you, Sir Cannon. I love that.
Yeah, nah, it's real talk, man.
I want to be known as a loving man.
You are, you truly are a loving man. And we'll talk about talent too, because I know we got the new album to talk about, new shows and all of that good stuff. But man, I always say when I get a chance to talk to you, you actually don't get the flowers that you deserve when it comes to the level, the skill sets as a musician, as a songwriter, and just somebody who just been in the game and have kind of just the resiliency of, you know, people that, I mean, you right up there when it comes to the greats, man. So I give you your flowers, my brother.
Thank you, thank you. And you know what, I have received so many flowers. I think, you know, a lot of times when it's real, like the experiences that people have with your music or your art, if they get married to it, if they make love to it, if they dance to it and they play it at their weddings and stuff like first dances, then you're a part of the fabric of a lot of people's best times of their lives. And that's the great thing about music, is you're a part of the best times of people's lives. And so because that connection is real, that's everlasting, you know. And those flowers, they come when you're at the grocery store and somebody goes, yo, we walked down the aisle to your song, or you know what I mean? And it's still, you still get that love. And that's when you know that your music did what it was supposed to do. It became a part of people's lives.
Hey, man, I was lost without you on many engagements. That was my wedding song a couple of times.
Oh, shoot.
Nah, man, but just even for real, like, I want to get inside the mind of a songwriter for a minute. I mean, obviously we have On Earth and In Heaven, but when Robin Thicke jumps in the studio, one, just knowing you personally, I know you're real meticulous about, you know, what you release, how you release it, what you offer up, because a brother who has such a skill set and the wherewithal to actually really just make a song at any point in time, how do you decide, all right, now's the time, all right, here's the opportunity to cook up, or this is the offering that I'm giving to the people right now?
Well, I really had a run there, you know. I mean, once I got started on my solo music in my mid-20s, I released 7 albums in 11 years. You know, that's a lot of work, and
facts,
and touring, and you know, I mean, that's 11 years in a row of just go, go, go. Then I took a step back. I spent some more time with my family and just started getting into other things than trying to make it all the time.
Right.
And you know, and now what I want to say and how I want to say it is just slightly different, you know. But the great thing about inspiration is it continues to change, you know, and you continue to evolve. But right now, my music, after my father passed away, my house burned down, and I went through a lot of loss. And then I also had 3 new babies, and I got a hit TV show with you on The Masked Singer. So there's been a lot of tough times and a lot of great times, and all that's wrapped up in the album and celebrating the people that are here and the people that have moved on.
Man, they say tough times don't last, but tough people do, and you are you exemplify that, man. I've watched you just stand tall and be, you know, again, like so loving, so pleasant. But
well, my father was a great example that way. You know, he had a great start in his career, and then he had some tough times around the same age I did. And then he bounced back, and he was just Mr. Lovable, Mr. Kind, and you know, the kind of person you wanted to be around. So he led by example, man. Man,
and it's so much that you're putting on right now. Obviously, the new album, like you said, The Masked Singer. I mean, it's going crazy still.
We got lucky on that, man. That thing's been so great for me. I didn't realize how great it would be to just learn how to be myself on television. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
When you're an artist, you're used to like putting on that hat. I'm about to go on stage. I'm about to be that thing. I gotta up the swag notch a little bit. But when you're on a show like that and you just get to be yourself and have a great time, man, it's been really cathartic for me, man.
Man, and you got this, like, even when I always throw to you on the show, you got like this vibe of like boss, elder statesman. Like I've kind of, you know what I mean? Like you really come from that space of expertise. Obviously, you know, Ken's always having fun and wilding out.
Right.
You know, Nicole is in her world of like being so focused on, you know, the sound and just being the flyness, and Jenny's focused on the clues and being quirky. But like you kind of like bring the solidarity or even like the realness to the show, and you say it's about being yourself. Is that just the cat that you are, man? Like even in our own conversations, you always seem to have like the sensible, like, okay, he got to the point, he made it make sense for everybody.
Yeah, like, hey, you know, my dad was the dad on Growing Pains, so you know you got some sensible information,
right?
even if it was from script 27, you know what I mean?
Facts.
But yeah, so I mean, I came from a sensible dad who had a great journey and loved Hollywood, and so I've learned that there are, we know the pitfalls and the tough times that come with being in the entertainment industry, but I saw a success story. You know what I mean? My dad came from a small mining town and made it. He loved it. He was happy to be here. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So I try to embrace the fact that if you make great relationships with people, you treat people right, you know, and you have a good time, somehow it all just seems to work out in the end, you know?
Yeah, and now you've accomplished so much in your career as well in life. One thing that Robin Thicke still needs to do.
Oh, man, quit smoking.
Really?
I got to quit smoking, man. But
and as a singer or someone, you know what I mean, like is that something? Because some people, like, if you look into like the Bobby Womack's and all of those people with those type of voices, they actually say those cigarettes help the soul.
No, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Wheezy wouldn't sound like Wheezy without a few blunts. You know? But
is that part of the soulful vibe that you bring? Like that might be part of the thick magic.
There's an appeal in the recording, but in real life, it just smells.
Yeah, understood, man. Now, being a father, man, and having that ability to pass on a legacy, we know how important your father was to you. What are some of those things, man, as you're living that life that you're trying to pass down to your offspring?
Well, like I said, you know, leading by example, you know, showing what hard work and family and the combination of making time for your family, spending quality present time with your family, sticking together through the hard times, finding a way to laugh and dance and smile through the tough times. And those are the kind of things you just want to instill. You know, you want to instill a work ethic, a joy of life, and then and a sense of family, a true sense of how important family and friendships are.
Indeed. Now, you talk about laughing and dancing. On Earth and in Heaven, it's 11 tracks on there. What's the one that gets you going? What's your favorite joint?
Well, it's talking about getting up and dancing, that would be "Take Me Higher," which I did with Pharrell.
Oh, y'all back together again. We love to see it.
Yeah, they've been playing that actually on the NBA for the last few months on all, you know, the commercials and during the Saturday night games and stuff. So, you know, when you're an NBA fan, you're a sports fan, you always love to hear your music.
Facts.
On TNT and ABC. So that's been a blast. But the first song on the album, called "Lucky Star," was the last song that I wrote, and it was kind of about Andre Harrell, my mentor who passed away last year, and my father.
R.I.P.
You know, that lucky star that we all kind of pray to or speak to or connect with, that we know we're not alone when we're all alone. You know what I mean? We know we're not alone, and there's somebody there watching us and guiding us and loving us. And so that song really hit home with me after everything I've been through and all the loss I've had the last few years.
Man, yeah, I mean, your story is so compelling, and you've withstood so much, man, and it's good to just see you, even as a friend, kind of just still smile each and every day and rock with it and offer us some new music, man, after, how long it's been since the last album?
6 years. It was like 6 years, 7 years, yeah. I mean, I put out a few singles, just, you know, rock during summer and stuff like that, but this was the real body of work. When Andre Harrell, my mentor, passed last year, I just rededicated myself. I wanted to honor him and honor everything he did for me by making a great album and dedicating it to him and my father. So this was a real sentimental piece of music. But but you know what, I really think that it's even though it took a long time, it was worth it because it says what I wanted to say.
Indeed, and we definitely got to talk about Dre for a minute when it comes to Andre Harrell, all that he did for the culture. I mean, at least for me, it was definitely probably the soundtrack to my upbringing, to everything that Uptown even put forth. When from I'll Be Sure to Jodeci to Heavy D to all of that, man, like really the New Jack Swing era. Which we often get a chance to have a lot of fun with on Masked Singer. If there was one song from that era that Robin Thicke would perform on Masked Singer, I got to do Candy Girl. What song would you get up there and do and just have a lot of fun with?
Oh, that's a tough time. Maybe like Let's Chill or
oh, a little guy. You bring a little guy on him. Oh, yeah.
No, I might have to do a little guy on him, or Forever My Lady, or come and talk to me. Come and talk to me too.
Jodeci, a guy you can't go wrong with either one of those.
I've actually done Jodeci in my concerts before.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of concerts, you put on an amazing one. And like when you just say Jodeci, a guy, and I think you and I have even talked about this before, but just those two groups right there would be an amazing versus. Like how crazy,
wow, yeah.
like just that'd be a versus I definitely want to see.
But it might have to be Jodeci Boys to Men though. It might Jodeci Boys to Men, because that was really what that was. Their albums came out like the same year. Yeah. They were the two opposites of
the good guys and the bad guys.
Dressed up in downtown, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Jodeci with body. I love Boys to Men, but Jodeci with body Boys to Men though.
Yeah, but that's still a great versus, because once you add some of those, Let's Not Wait Till the Water Runs Dry, and you know, there's joints. That's a nice night.
They got real joints, but like Jodeci.
You don't want to fiend in. You don't want to mess with fiending.
Yeah, like all of that. Like, come on, man, that'd be crazy. And you know, I gotta ask you. Like, I'm pretty sure they probably already asked you and all that. But versus, man, like, who would you go up against and have some fun with?
Man, that's just a tough one. I mean, there's always Timberlake or something, but we're not really.
That'd be fire. That'd be fire. Cause y'all both work with.
He got more hits, and my stuff is more like grown man soul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of the records I would play, and his are more like huge pop hits. You know
that's real. That's definitely.
So I would try to find more of like Anthony Hamilton or a Music Soul Child, or somebody that's more in the world of we make.
Yeah, the ladies' night baby making music vibes, like you and Maxwell. You know what I mean?
Me and Max. Me and Max
the
would be a good
battle of the falsettos.
The falsetto fight. The falsetto fight.
Facts. I would love to see that right there.
That would be good. Me and Max would be fun.
Now, you know, we always do the world famous top 5 here on Nick Cannon Radio. And, you know, it's interesting, man, because when I talk top 5, I really like to talk about inspiration. And, you know, like artists, and obviously I know you got a huge Stevie Wonder inspiration in your world. I know Marvin Gaye, all of that type of stuff, like those, the real soulful artists. But if you had to go ahead and say the top 5 artists that Robin Thicke was inspired by, who would they be?
Oh man, that is definitely one of the hardest things to do, because there's so many. Because you know, growing up in the hip hop generation, there's obviously singers. There's Stevie, there's Marvin, there's Al, but then there's Pac and Biggie and Jay. And I mean, that is the music that I also.
Yeah, you really a child of hip hop. You had a hip hop group, as we learned on the Masked Singer. It's like the white crisscross.
It was me and Brian Austin Green. We were like 13, 14 years old, and we were wearing painted overalls, dancing on cars.
Man,
it was really Belle Biv DeVoe. That's when Belle Biv DeVoe was everything.
Yeah, facts.
We just wanted to be Belle Biv DeVoe. And so that was that era.
You truly are that. And you know what? Let's, like, obviously too, because even having to go there with the top 5, and like you said, you could break it down in so many worlds. But
I mean, yeah, New Edition. What a influence. Can You Stop the Rain at that era of my life?
Yeah.
New Edition. Then it went into Boyz II Men, Jodeci, R. Kelly. Like all that stuff really influenced my music as much as Stevie, Marvin. In the end, I've turned out to just be more of an old school head when I make music. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, those were all huge influences on Mary J. Blige. I mean, Mary J's first two albums, you know, changed the whole game.
There it is. So let's zone in real quick then, because as someone that I truly respect as a songwriter and a man behind the music a lot of times, producer and songwriter, let's go ahead and give me your top 5 songwriters of all time.
Oh, man.
I know mine.
Stevie, Marvin, for sure.
Really? You give Marvin's top 5 songwriters, like just pen game, not artist game, because definitely Stevie.
Well, I think that when you look at what Marvin said, he found a way to say things in the most simple fashion that resonate forever. Same thing with Bob Marley.
Right.
You might want to say Bob Marley, who might not have been, from Mars with his lyrics, but definitely resonated and connected in the way he said things will last longer than most other people's messages.
Facts. Philosopher in that true sense.
Exactly. I mean, obviously John Lennon was one of my favorite lyricists, and you know, so he might be up in there, but.
And I was even thinking more like songwriters just based off of like as a career, because I think definitely there's so many artists that are just prolific for themselves. But I'm saying like,
Babyface,
I was gonna say Babyface.
You can't get on top of Babyface.
Yeah, like I'll definitely say Face. I'd probably go probably Smokey Robinson.
Smokey's ridiculous. But when you talk pure quantity, I don't think anybody can out Babyface.
That is a solid fact right there. He is definitely at the top of the list. And then, you know, while we at it, we got to go there, because you're definitely one of those brothers who have paved the way for the Blueeyed Soul. Like, what is your top 5 Blueeyed Soul brothers?
Paved the yellow brick, Blueeyed Soul.
Yeah. I'm gonna just say you got to throw Michael McDonald in there somewhere.
Okay, Michael McDonald for sure. You know, my man Kenny Loggins might get a.
Yeah, he don't get enough respect. He definitely.
Kenny had some joints.
Yeah.
And I'm missing like one of the rock white boys that had some soul too, but. You know who was soulful in his own way, though, as a white boy, was Freddie Mercury, though.
Oh, beyond.
That boy,
yeah,
boy had some things on his voice. So I might put Freddie Mercury in there, and then white boys. Who's the 5th? We need a 5th. Oh, Daryl Hall.
Oh, gotta give it
Daryl
to
Hall.
Hall and Notes, just
absolutely.
Sarah Smile.
Hall up in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's
man,
a good group right there.
Nah, that's super solid right there, man. And you know what? We appreciate your time. We're excited about this new album. Much continued success. Not even just because I want to see you keep shining, but I want to keep working too on The Masked Singer.
Hey, man.
So let's ride that one till the wheels fall off. And man, On Earth and in Heaven is available now on all platforms. And you know, we always got to leave us with one last word of wisdom, man. The words that Robin Thicke lives by. If it's a favorite quote, if it's something that you always remember, a mantra that you say each and every day, leave us with a final word of wisdom.
Oh man, well, 2 things. You know, number 1, obviously gratitude. You know, you can't be grateful and be angry at the same time. You can't be grateful and be envious at the same time. You know, gratitude is number 1. And then number 2, I would say balance. You know, anytime your life gets out of balance, and, you know, then that's when things slow down or don't go your way. You know, you stay balanced with your health and your family and your work and your friendships, and that seems to be the right path. And
let the church say amen. Pastor Robin Thicke one time giving it to us. Somebody that I consider a true friend. And you know what? Been doing this for many moons. I hear we might be getting that Real Husbands thing back cracking soon. Yeah, man. You know how excited we all are. We had so much fun making that show, man. That was one of the best experiences ever. So we're all excited to get back. But also I want to say, I'm going to say it on the radio, I got to shout you out for The Masked Singer, even the look, because when they were first considering me, they came to Nick and they were like, "What do you think of Robin?" And Nick gave me the absolutely. That's a good dude. And so I got the job
in much part thanks to you, man. So
man, you got the job because of how dope you are. But if anybody asks me about one of my friends, especially somebody that is as talented and as gifted as you, I'm there, man. You know I'm a forever fan.
Those are always good Hollywood stories. I like telling them Hollywood stories. Like, yeah, Nick was the one who helped me get up on that.
Yeah, there it is, man. And we're going to do many more things in the future, man. Much continued success and love to the family.
Love to you too, Nick. Talk to you soon.
One.